On my way to the hospital. Been waiting all day. Been waiting since last week, really. Doctor says they're gonna try to see if I can deliver you vaginally, Nazir. I've been soaking, trying to hold off as long as possible, but it is 11:32 on November 3rd, 2021. And we're about to go to the hospital. I love you, DeAndre. I love you, Nevaeh. I love you, Nazir. We're on our way. I wish DeAndre could be here with me. But I'm not gonna get upset. I am 2 days post-op in the hospital. I'm finally stable enough. My the lash just came off. They've been coming off nonstop. Finally stable enough to get on here and document and talk to you guys, or just feeling well enough to even sit up, talk, okay? I had my baby on November 4th, 2021 at 2:47 p.m. I went in the night of the 3rd. I had been in active labor from like 11 p.m. on the 3rd to until I had him, of course, on the 4th. Nazir Harmonious Kelly is his name. He is in the NICU right now. I had BP strep and it went to him, so we've both been on antibiotics. So I received an epidural. Let me go back to that. I did receive an epidural. The epidural was so painful. I went into a state of shock and I couldn't even speak. I felt my pupils, I felt the life kind of be sucked out of me, if that makes sense. My mom was sitting there talking to me and I couldn't even put words together. That was like the first initial state of shock I have experienced more than one state of shock since I've been here. So after about all night up until I want to say 1 o'clock on the 4th, I was in active labor. They gave me the epidural. Then I dilated all the way to 9. I got all the way to 10 centimeters dilated. I started to push like hell. Even though I couldn't even feel enough to push, but I was so scared of having to have a C-section again because of what I went through with my first pregnancy, that I was like, no, I'm gonna push. I was 10 centimeters. I pushed for over an hour. My baby's head was facing up, and they say it's harder for them to come out when your baby's head is facing up. They couldn't even vacuum his head out or anything. I got so far that they could see his head and his hair sticking out of my vagina. I was pushing with all my might, even though I couldn't feel barely anything. In the butt area, they kept saying, focus on your butt. Focus like you have to take a poop, right? I could feel in my stomach, but I couldn't feel in the lower part of my body. And then after over an hour of pushing like a motherfucker, mind you, prior C-section, so prior scar, so they already had me sign like papers like your scar could bust open, you may be in need of a blood transfusion. So I signed all this stuff prior. So then I'm told I have to have a C-section. They start gowning my fiance. I'm rushed into the operating room. Me and baby were both stable at that time. I get on the other bed to start the operation. And I could feel everything again. Like I felt everything with my first baby. I could feel them cutting me. I could feel the metal rods moving around in there. I went into a state of shock and passed out. So they put me on the table. They were pinching my stomach. I said, I can still feel you. They're like, what am I doing now? I'm like, you're pinching my stomach. I can still feel you. What am I doing now? You're pinching me. Okay, we got to put her under. They had to incubate me. I had to be put under to have my baby. My previous scar busted open. My son was 10 pounds. I had a 10-pound baby bust through my uterus because I had a prior C-section. So he said I had no scar tissue on the scar where my C-section was prior. I healed myself. For those of you on my channel, you guys know that I do vaginal steaming, and I softened and healed my scarring from the inside out. I had no scar tissue from Nevaeh, my firstborn, from that C-section. My fiance is 6'8". I'm 5'2". Big babies. My firstborn was 8 pounds 3 ounces. 10-pound baby. I get into recovery. I wake up, my throat is hurting. They're like, you had to be intubated. You had to go under, blah, blah, blah. My man couldn't even be in the operating room, because I had to go under. He couldn't even see his son being born because I had to go under. I get into recovery. I am in excruciating pain. I was in recovery I had my son at 2:47 p.m. I didn't get out of recovery, which is a small ass room, until like 7:38, no, like 9 o'clock at night. I'm in recovery. So I'm in an uncomfortable ass bed. I'm pushing for my medicine, my pain meds. And the thing is beeping, and I'm thinking I'm getting medicine that I'm not. I'm screaming, I'm hollering. I didn't even get to look at my child because of how much pain I was in. I didn't get to see or hold my child. I am grateful, but I wanted to get on here and tell you guys my story. By the time I'm pushing, so it's like it's called a PACU, I believe, when you have medicine coming through and you have a button to push. That was beeping for a long time, and the nurses couldn't figure out why it was beeping. So the whole time I'm pushing for my medicine in recovery for all those hours, I'm moaning in pain, moaning in pain. Nothing is controlled. Nothing is controlled. I'm thinking I'm getting medicine, and I'm not. So then after X amount of hours in recovery, from 2:47 to 9 p.m., I'm not even in mommy and baby. After all this time, I'm in recovery this whole fucking time. And mind you, with COVID, there aren't a lot of patients here. So I finally get up to my room. I'm punching the bed. That's how much pain I'm in. Punching the bed. My son has got to hear me moaning in pain, moaning in pain. Those were his first few hours here, hearing his mother suffering. They're still trying to figure out why the pump thing is beeping and not working. So no medications. After having a 10-pound baby and my uterus busting open, still no medication. So then, hi baby. So then, as soon as I'm able to hold my baby, he has to go into the NICU. That's my charger. Hi YouTube family. So I wanted to continue with my birth story. I had a video along with this video, so I'm just kind of gonna take it from there. It's hard sitting in this position right now, but I need to connect and ground myself, and I really wanted to get on here, and I wanted to get on here in nature to show you guys ways to heal after having a baby, as well as just in general without having a baby. You know, grounding, connecting with Mother Earth is so important. Okay, I miss all of you. I want to let the people know that are kind of like on back order. You'll hear why and what's going on a deeper level. I wanted to get on here and be extremely transparent with you guys. So continuing on with the story of my labor and delivery. So the first few hours of my baby, you know, was hearing my baby's life, was hearing me suffering. My labor and delivery did not go how I anticipated, which things never do, right? But so yeah, that was the first hours of his life, was hearing me suffer. So then I finally become stable enough to where I can see and hold my child, my beautiful baby boy. And then I had contracted some type of infection that seems to be pretty common in pregnancy, and it transferred to him. So as soon as I'm able to hold him and connect, and you know, after hours, they want to take him to the NICU for testing, because apparently he had a fever we both had a fever when I delivered him, or when he busted through my uterine wall. And I am experiencing like pain on my left side, and I did keep my placenta. I wanted to bring it out here on camera, but that was like, it's like a big plastic container. I'm gonna bury it. That's something that I'm looking forward to doing. But yeah, the people that are on back order, please know that, like, I haven't forgotten you. It's not that many people. I think it's like 2. But I haven't forgotten you. I'm just trying to heal and become more, adjusted with both babies. I've got a 2-year-old daughter, and I just had a baby boy. So, yeah. And I'm also trying to figure out certain ways to make sure that I have enough finances for the next couple weeks, because apparently my maternity leave was only covered for 4 weeks, which isn't even the right amount of time that you need to heal after a cesarean birth, let alone a vaginal birth. It's 6 to 8 weeks for the body to fully heal. So any donations would be greatly appreciated, just so I have more time to heal, because my case was very rare and I went through a lot, and I had to play catch up on a lot of healing that was supposed to already be taking place and taken care of in my hospital stay. But so I had him on a Thursday the 4th, a new moon. He is a Scorpio sun and moon, and I am a Scorpio moon, which is so beautiful. I had him on a Thursday, and I left on Saturday because the care, like, I never thought that I would experience shock. Not even that I never thought that I would experience it, but experiencing shock the way that I did was like, yeah. And what's even more now, what I'm channeling is like, it's so crazy now that I've had such trauma with both deliveries. Like, childbirth is supposed to be, not supposed to be, because nothing can be defined, but I just feel like I've gone through so much to bring my babies into the world. And when I was younger, when people would ask me, like 7, 8, 9 years old, ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would say an obstetrician and an OB, and not even knowing what that was. So that is definitely tied and connected to my past lives. And I actually received this download when I was in the hospital, but too much was going on, that it's definitely connected in the way of not receiving that care, and it being so much more on a deeper level connected to my past lives. It makes sense that it would be a fight going into this lifetime, where that's concerned. Because it was to the point where prior to delivery, because my first experience had been so traumatic, I felt everything. I felt them cut. I felt, after 3 days of labor, I felt them cut me. I felt them tugging with the metal rods, and it was very, very traumatic the first time. I even switched hospitals, and I did not go into, they wanted to schedule me for a C-section on the 5th of November. But because I had so what happened was, prior to delivery, I had an appointment, and they checked my vitals, and my blood pressure was at, I'm starting to feel pain. My blood pressure was at like 146 over something, and then 5 minutes later they took it and it went down to 129, and they wanted me to go in that same day to have an induction. But then another person was saying, the doctor came in and said that I can't have an induction because I had already had a cesarean. So based off the trauma that I went through the first pregnancy and delivery, labor and delivery, and then them not knowing what they were talking about, and the fact that the person that would have been delivering my baby that day I'd never met before, because of the lack of care and the lack of confidence in the practice, which by the time I got pregnant, me trying to find a new, and they are good to an extent when you are visiting them in the office, but just regarding like my birth, and I wanted to give them a chance because there's 7 different doctors within the practice, so like I wanted to give them a chance basically, but I knew what doctor I wanted. I had a birth plan, and I know things don't always go as planned, but I wasn't gonna have somebody who had just graduated the same year operate on me this year. They graduated med school, you know, and no, I'm sorry. And plus my blood pressure went down, so I had been experiencing contractions like Braxton Hicks for like 2 months. But yeah, so basically lots and lots of trauma from the first birth, and then I leave on Saturday, and I will be honest with you, my mom was like, you know, make sure you get out of here, make sure you get out of here, and she kind of like pushed the discharge a little bit because she wanted to be able to take care of me without the nurses, and because it was that bad. But I definitely felt like once I got home and was trying to get acclimated and heal, that me trying to heal while being home, and plus my baby was still in the NICU, so I got discharged before him because they said they waited until like I was ready to be discharged to let me know that like he was gonna have to stay longer. So I was going back and forth to the hospital to see him and be with him, which put wear and tear on my body, you know. So on top of being home with my 2-year-old, I can't pick her up. So I was like, damn, like I should have stayed like the extra day that they were allotted me, but because of the neglect and just the entire experience in general, I went home, you know. But it's an experience trying to heal at home, because being a woman, you naturally want to pick up where you left off, you know. It's been a struggle trying to heal and then focus on, you know, the finances and things. But I just wanted to get on here and update you guys on what's been going on with me. That way, you know, I just wanted to connect directly with you. And I will be bearing my placenta. I want to get back on here. I want to do some reading, so I'm finally at a place where I feel like I can sit at my table and my desk and actually, like, it took me a while to get here, it feels like. I went through a lot. I was telling the nurses, like, I'm so tired of saying, oh my God. Like, if I could just breathe without it hurting, and because I plan on going in there, like, using my Reiki techniques, and because certain things weren't under control, and the emergent and having to be put under and intubated. I said incubated earlier on the other video, but yeah. Going into shock, seeing a white door with clouds. It was definitely an experience, and my son is so beautiful. He's so dope. He's amazing. But yes, so I do want to try to get up the strength to get on here because I miss you guys so very much. And I do want to put out there again, like, donations, and you know that I will give it back to you guys tenfold. I will even throw in like some type of incentive, like where, you know, I do something free for the first people to donate, like something. I'm gonna figure out something for you guys, okay, as far as donations go, because I definitely need the support at this time. I have, you know, I have financial stability and everything like that in place until, you know, I don't. But I do want to get on here and just, you know, put out there that, you know, I won't be working, and I do need extra time to heal, okay? And I'm okay, but I just want to make sure that I'm okay come the next few months, and I am being extremely transparent on here, okay? And I love you guys so very much. I'm having like a little bit of separation anxiety because I haven't really left my baby like that. But yeah, I'm just taking time to heal. it's very painful being cut open. Like, I know that sounds kind of like, oh, duh, but it's definitely something that it's a wound that I have taken a lot of time to heal and align and balance. And now it's like I see that all of that work was for this, but then now I have to kind of reboot my energy and align and rebalance and, you know, focus on that while focusing on a new life. Every time you bring new life into the world, your life changes. You have a new life. You know, we have such an important role as women. We are vessels, you know. We are the epitome of creation. We are creation. And I need my women out there to remember that. Remember your worth and remember how strong you are. Because I know now with what I just went through, I already knew I was strong. But what I just experienced and went through, what I'm still going through, I know that I can do anything. I'm just waiting to heal. You know, time heals. So I'm just trying to heal physically. So then, you know, and it's an emotional time as well, and everything's kind of coming together now, knowing what I know about chakras and the anatomy and things of that nature. It's like it makes sense why postpartum depression is so prevalent after giving birth, because your sacral and root chakra are all discombobulated and kind of flustered with and messed with. So it makes sense. It's like a shock to that area. So it's going to bring up emotions and hormones and things like that. So I just think it's so beautiful, because knowing what I know and putting the connections of everything together and being able to come on here on my platform and share it with you guys means everything to me. My foot is falling asleep, so I am going to get up. I got to be careful. That's another thing. I am so stubborn, even bending over now. And also, it's hard for me to even get in the shower. Showers, you guys know here on my channel, water, anything having to do with water, I absolutely love. But I've noticed how vulnerable I feel when I am showering. And it's because the last time I was naked and vulnerable like that, I was being cut open and being put under, and it was so traumatic. The father of my child couldn't even see his son being born, you know? We're alive, and I'm happy to be alive. I have a beautiful, healthy baby, you know? But it's a lot. What else? I'm going to keep you guys updated on the community board, okay? I am back. I am trying to slowly work my way back. Don't want to push myself too much. But yeah, so I love you guys. I am going to be posting this today. And yeah, again, donations would be greatly, greatly appreciated at this time. And I'm going to come up with some sort of incentive for you guys, okay? Those who donate, I love you. I miss you guys. I can't wait to get back on here and continue this journey with you. The journey's still going. We're just at a little, you know, halt real quick. This is part of the journey. It's not stopping. But I just need to take time out for me to heal. And I know you guys understand that. So, sending you guys lots of love. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you're interested, my schedule is back open, and I am going to be doing some sales. That will also be part of the incentive for you guys, okay? I'm going to do some discounts on my services, okay? So I will keep you guys updated on the community board. Like I said, I love you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.